Early Days on the Hill, Part 2. Sri Ramana Maharshi's deep connection with nature and animals is an integral part of his spiritual legacy. His compassionate and loving demeanor extended to all forms of life, whether it was animals, trees, or even the tiniest of insects. Once, devotees got a fright when a leopard and a tiger approached and played together in front of the cave. When the young sage heard the devotees' fearful cries, he chided them for their alarm and told them it would only cause panic in the animals and increase the chances of a mishap. Another time, Ashramites gathered with drums and cymbals to frighten away a leopard that was coming regularly to drink from a small pool of rainwater nearby. To which Bhagwan said, "Why do you worry so much? She announced that she was coming with her first roar, and then she was leaving with her second. What harm is there in her coming to drink? A number of Siddh Purush or holy beings live on this mountain in various forms. It would not be right for us to disturb or mistreat them in any way." Bhagwan said to them, "Why do you worry so much? She announced that she was coming with her first roar and then she was leaving with her second. What harm is there in her coming to drink? A number of Siddh Purush or holy beings live on this mountain in various forms. It would not be right for us to disturb or mistreat them in any way." For Raman, even the leaves of the trees were sentient beings. Once, Echamal, a devotee who served Bhagwan by preparing his meals, decided to do an extended puja, offering 100,000 freshly picked leaves from the sacred Bilva tree. For each of Bhagwan's names, she chanted, Echamal would offer one leaf to his photograph. When she reached the 50,000 mark, summer had set in, and she could not find any more leaves to pick, even though she searched the entire mountainside. To this, Bhagwan gave a simple solution. He said, "If you cannot find leaves, why not just pinch yourself instead of your puja offerings?" To this, Echema replied, "Why that, Swamiji? That sounds painful." Bhagwan said, "If it pains you to pinch your body, is it not painful to the tree when you pluck its leaves?" Echema said, "Why didn't you tell me this earlier, Swami?" Bhagwan, "When you know that pinching your body is painful, don't you know the tree will be equally pained if you rob it of its leaves? Do you need me to tell you that?" Silence was a cornerstone of Sri Raman's teaching and presence. He often communicated profound truths without uttering a single word, embodying the power of silence. All those who had the blessing of his silent teaching spoke of its wonders. Though in those early days he was known as Brahman Swami, devotees often compared him to a great rishi of ancient times. Once, when a sadhu came to visit, he and a member of the ashram shared the following conversation. In hushed tones, Sadhu said, "Swamiji is not only a jnani, but verily Dakshin Murti himself. His silent gaze communicates all to all. Is it not so?" Admiring the stillness of the devotees and animal guests gathered around, the Ashramite said, "Yes, and even dogs, cats, birds, and monkeys understand it. To this, the sadhu whispered with enthusiasm, "More than that, I would say even rocks, plants, and trees understand it." Ashramite replied, "and are blessed by it." However, Swami wasn't always silent and serious. He often took advantage of opportunities for light-hearted interaction, especially with the monkeys at whom he loved to poke fun. The monkey clan came regularly just to be with him. In his presence, they would sit and groom one another for long hours. At other times, they would sit without moving, silently absorbed in meditation. Once, underneath the big tree facing Virupaksh cave, the monkey tribe sat serenely, evidently in a state of samadhi. Bhagwan, though enjoying the sight and admiring their concentration, could not miss the opportunity of teasing them. He said, Hey, my friends, you are sitting in samadhi, are you? Well done. Let's see how long you can stay like that." Just at that moment, one of the monkeys opened his eyes and began to fidget, unable to remain still any longer. Bhagwan caught him by saying, "Hey, where are you going? What kingdom do you have to conquer?" At these words, the monkey once again became completely peaceful and absorbed, without even the slightest movement. Brahman Swami's fellowship with animals often had unexpected benefits. Ashramites witnessed numerous instances of animal generosity, especially among the monkeys. Like Hanuman, who flew to the golden-peaked Himavan to retrieve the herb with which to heal Lakshman's wounds, so too the monkeys of Arunachal mountain also tried to be of service wherever possible. One warm day, the sage set out with a number of devotees to do Giri Pradakshina, the time-honored circuit of the hill. The distance is some 14 kilometers. For a leisurely circuit, devotees often need several hours or even a full day, depending on the season. As devotees walked along, one of them noticed a troop of monkeys trailing them. He said, "Hey, look, the monkeys are coming around the hill with us." To which the ashramite replied, "We take the road, they take the branches." The devotee inquisitively asked, "What do you think they are up to?" Ashramite replied, "Well, ashram dogs regularly follow Swamiji's order to guide visiting devotees unfamiliar with the route. Perhaps these monkeys are also acting on his orders." Feeling the heat, the devotee said, "At least they have the shade of the trees to keep them cool." Around 1 o'clock, tired, hungry for having missed their midday meal, the devotees drew near an ancient Devi temple, a shrine on the northeastern side of the mountain. Bhagwan had overheard these devotees muttering about hunger and thirst, and so decided to pause for rest. Suddenly, out of nowhere, the monkeys climbed a nearby jambul tree and started shaking its branches. Pieces of juicy rose apple fruit rained down on the path below. The monkeys themselves, however, did not come down to collect their harvest. Noticing this, the devotee exclaimed, "How strange! They are not eating a single piece." The ashramite replied, "Do you know what? I think the fruit is intended for us. Picking up the rose apples, the devotees ate them peacefully. One of the devotees added, "This is surely Swamiji's doing." To which the ashramite affirmed, "Of course, they received his hospitality on the mountain and are now returning the favor." Another devotee expressed, "We are seeing with our own eyes what Bhagwan is always saying about their generous nature." Adoring this act, ashramite uttered, "It's amazing. Even without Bhagwan saying anything, they understood his wish and came to our help."